Welcome to the IslandStats.com football show, your weekly dose of all the action from Bermuda's top football leagues. We bring you in-depth coverage of the Premier and First Division, results, highlights, analysis, and exclusive interviews. We also keep you up to date with the latest news and developments from the Bermuda Football Association. Stay tuned for the IslandStats.com football show, your one-stop shop for everything you need to know about the beautiful game in Bermuda. Now let's join the IslandStats.com football show team. And good evening and welcome to this edition of the IslandStats.com football show. I'm your host, Darrell Basting. Joining me, none other than co-host Andrew Griffith. We are hopefully awaiting the arrival of Garrett Punchy Dill. We will be joined by PAC head coach Sequoia Robinson at the bottom of the hour to get an update on their preparation for the upcoming start to the league season. And of course, Griff, today we start from scratch. Our picks as the league will get underway next weekend. Yeah. But don't worry, don't race. Okay. You're trying to show your Manchester United crest. But let's quickly run down the results from this week's Dudley Eve matches. We remember when we were on the air last week, there was matches going on, and Sunday night it was Dandytown Hornets 2, Paget Lions 1, Boulevard Blazers 1, North Village Rams 2. And then on Tuesday night it was Crossroads 0, Devonshire Colts 3, Young Man Social Club 0, PHC Zebras 3. And then last night at the PHC Stadium, it was Boulevard Blazers 1, Dandytown Hornets 3, North Village Rams 2, Paget Lions 1. We did have an update from the Bermuda Football Association that came out yesterday morning that had an effect on the Dudley Eve, and it read the Bermuda Football Association has issued a significant update regarding the competition. The BFA confirmed that Boulevard Blazers have forfeited their match against the Paget Football Club that took place on September 6th due to fielding an ineligible player. A statement from the BFA said at the time the player in question was not properly registered, a properly registered player with Boulevard Blazers in accordance with the registration protocols of the association. So, unfortunately, Boulevard's victory over Paget was all for naught, Griff, at the end of the day, because they fielded an ineligible player, unfortunately. But hopefully they get all that paperwork sorted out so when the start of the season comes, they can hit the ground running.
Yes. I think we need some clarity because I wasn't even sure when I went to the game last night how you determine who's in the semifinal. You know, there are 3 groups, 1 with 4 and 2 with 3. So it's the group winners and the best second place finisher.
Yes. And of course, the second best place finisher will probably more likely come from the group of 4 because you play one more game.
As it's explained to me, that's why I think the listeners, viewers need clarity. So what happens when it's a difference in the number of teams in the group? So as explained to me, the team in the group of 4, the last place team, all of the results of their games are thrown out, and then you see where the points are. So even like in that group, the Boulevard game awarded to Paget. The Boulevard finished bottom of the group.
Right.
That result gets thrown out anyway, so it really didn't matter.
Right. So Paget only ended up.
So because of that,
points.
I think correct, and I think I think with the way it stood, I think Village doesn't qualify.
No, Village does not qualify.
It's Devonshire Cougars is the best second place team.
Oh, okay. So
because the game that Village won against Boulevard is also thrown out, so they only have one win against the win that they got last night. So I think either of those teams last night would have had to win by a lot of goals either way.
Right.
By 4 goals. So neither of those teams could go forward if the game was close.
Mm.
So that's how it went. So that the whole ruling on Boulevard. In the end, it didn't matter.
Right. Okay. Well, the draw for the semifinals is taking place tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Um, well, according to the BFA, um, actually, we're getting a word that it was PHC that finished with the
Okay, the second place team.
second
Okay.
best,
Okay.
second place. Okay.
Okay.
So the four teams, Ian would be St. George's, Devonshire Cougars, PHC, and who's the other team?
Dandy Town.
Dandy Town. That's right. Dandy Town. So those are the four teams that will be in the draw for the semifinals come tomorrow. But let's actually talk a little bit about those games last week Sunday, because obviously Dandy Town played Paget. Dandy Town played Paget, and that had a significant outcome, because obviously the winner would have gone top of the table, as you've already indicated. Okay, to confirm, the teams that are in the draw are Dandy Town Hornets, Group A winners, Devonshire Cougars, Group B winners, St. George's Colts, Group C winners, and PHC Zebras, second best placed team. So that's the draw. That will be the draw for tomorrow. But that match between Dandy Town and Paget last week, Griff, again, it was rather important, and of course Dandy Town came out on top. Looking at Dandy Town, I mean, they've played what, 5 games this season? 4 games.
4 games.
Charity Cup and the 3 games in there. What's your early assessment of Dandy Town?
Well, based on how they played North Village so far, it looks like they are a very good team. They look fast, and they look like they should be reckoned with this season. But again, they started hot last season.
Right. Yeah. And of course, Paget have been struggling with results. They probably are playing how Antoine wants them to play, but they're coming out on the wrong end. And again last night, because they did last week Sunday, and now again last night. Would you be worried going into the league season?
If you're Paget?
Yes.
I don't think so. Like, even like against, I would say one of the better teams is definitely going to be Dandy Town.
Mm-hmm.
And I watched the game. It's one of the few games I got to see. I watched the game last night at PHC, and for me, even though Village won, there's no real difference between Village and Paget. Paget, and Paget had most of the possession, and when Village got the late goal, it was against the run of play. So Paget, I think, will be solid, perhaps just as solid as last year. So I really think, like, if North Village plays like they played last night, they will struggle in the early season.
Okay. And then Tuesday night, it was a bit of a surprise in the scoreline for the first game. Crossroads 0, Devonshire Colts 3. We've been talking about how well Fareed has had Crossroads organized and so forth, and to lose 3-0, would that scoreline surprise you?
Yeah, I was definitely I was surprised, because how many seasons has Colts been up now? 2, 3, 2. It's the second season.
Second one. Yeah.
Second season.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the battle is they played well last year. They were never in contention for relegation. So they seem to be well prepared. They have a few good transfers, so they see that they're going to be strong. But I also thought that Crossroads would be strong, like we discussed it before. But maybe we're giving Crossroads too much credit. How about it? I thought that, like, that game would be a close game.
Right. Yeah. Much. I thought it would have been as well. I didn't see a shutout, but well done to Devonshire Colts for number one, shutting out Crossroads, because as we remember they were down 4-1 against St. George's in the second half of their first game, and came back and scored 3 goals late in the match. So when you got guys that can score at any time, there's always going to be a threat. So But for Devonshire Colts, well done for getting the shutout and getting the win, because obviously teams that are not going to progress into the semifinals of the Dudley Eve, you want to be kicking off your season with a win in the Dudley Eve
Strong.
to set you on your way. So
Yeah.
I know the second game on Tuesday night would be a worrying one for Young Man Social Club. They lost 3-0 to PAC. They were down 2-0 real early in the first half, and then managed to hold them out until late into the game to lose 3-0. But they've conceded quite a few goals in this Dudley Eve, something that the coaching staff is going to have to sort out before Sunday.
Yep. Unless, and again, they had Zeke Lewis is back playing for him.
Mm-hmm.
Unless he has a 20 goal season, they will struggle with him. I think
the problem is
odds on favorites to be
he can, he can score 20 goals. The problem is not giving up 3 and 4 goals a game. So, he would have to score 4 goals a game, for them to stay in the game.
But hopefully if they have decent coaching, a bit of heart, and some fight, they'll work out a way not to give up 4 goals a game. You can keep it to 1, and you
stand a chance.
2, you got a chance. But if you keep giving up 4, there's no way.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they have that fighting instinct at Police Field, where last season they were hard to beat. Even though North Village beat them up there, they were very hard to beat, tough to beat up there. I think Devonshire Colts beat them and Dennytown beat them, but those games weren't easy. They tend to fight very hard up at Police Field. So, show a little grit and determination, like you said, and see what they get out of it. So, definitely one of the things that we'll be looking forward to as the season goes on. And then, obviously, last night, you said you watched the games last night. That first match between Boulevard Blazers and Dendytown. Give us your assessment of the match itself.
That game, Dendytown dominated. Mm-hmm. And maybe we can ask Sequoia.
Oh, we've lost Griff. He must have hit his exit button. What we'll do is we'll take a commercial break, and when we come back, we'll be rejoined by Andrew Griffin, and hopefully Garrett Punchdale at some point. We'll be right back.
This September, refresh and reinvigorate with the finest sparkling waters. Maison Perrier, brought to you by John Barrett & Sons and available at Lindo's. Known for their commitment to quality, John Barrett & Sons proudly distributes Maison Perrier sparkling waters sourced from the purest springs to bring you a crisp, clean taste with every sip. Whether you're savoring the classic taste of natural spring water or exploring the vibrant notes of their flavored options. Lindo's. Why go anyplace else?
Beneath the cloud blue sky, where the ocean meets the land, and the long tails fly in Bermuda. Our hearts belong to this beautiful island. As an island, we are strong, proudly Bermudian. In every single way, from the sunrise to the sunset, and every single day for over 135 years. It's been clear, Digit silence, proudly Bermudian. Bringing us near. Cause we are proudly Bermudian. Digital is proudly Bermudian. Digital is proudly Bermudian.
You ever crack open a Coke and just... perfect.
It's that cold, classic hit that never lets you down.
Whether you're chilling with friends or just need a break, you can't go wrong with Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola.
Nothing else compares.
Proudly distributed by Butterfield and Vallis.
And welcome back. We are still awaiting Andrew Griffith to rejoin us, co-host. Tried to message him. He has yet to rejoin. We were talking about the match last night, the first match between the Boulevard Blazers and Dandytown Hornets. In that match last night, the Dandytown Hornets would win 3-1. Dandytown went up in the 18th minute, and then they would double that lead just after the restart in the second half. Boulevard would get themselves on the scoreboard with a penalty in the 59th minute, but the match was closed out in the 64th minute with Dandytown scoring yet another goal to make that score 3-1 and kind of secure their spot in the semifinal draw. And then the nightcap between the Paget Lions and the North Village Rams. Early own goal in the first half own goal gave the North Village Rams a 1-0 lead. Paget drew level 4 minutes into the second half with a penalty. And then just when things looked as if the two teams would share the points, North Village got the winner in the 89th minute to take the 2 points. Unfortunately, it wasn't going to be enough for them to join the other teams in the draw for the semifinals. And again, it's one of those things where obviously everybody wants to be in the semifinals. You enter the tournament, or as we spoke with President Mark Wade last week, it was the opportunity to have all the teams playing in the Dudley to get equal footing. And I believe we are rejoined by Andrew Griff. Belko called you.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I lost connectivity.
Okay.
Change rooms.
Okay. All right. So yeah, we were talking about the match last night with Dandytown and Boulevard. You were giving us your opinion on the match itself.
At times, it seemed, as I was saying, it seemed like Dandytown was taking Boulevard for granted. They had some chances that you would think they'd normally put away, or the strikers got greedy. They got off a decent shot, but it would have been easier to lay it off or cut it back, and it would have been an even easier shot. So, for instance, even when they were up, I think 2-0, one of those situations happened. Boulevard went right down the other end of the field and got a penalty from it. Mm-hmm. And the game was a little closer than it should have been. So Dandytown had much more possession than Boulevard and were a better team on the night, but they didn't play like the score didn't show it for what happened on the field. So that, I guess it took just a core unit. Maybe they'll work on that, but they never should have allowed Boulevard to get in that game. They're a better team, but they didn't quite feel like they should have been dominant and just played them off the park, but they didn't.
And then obviously the nightcap with North Village and Paget that ended 2-1. It looked destined for a draw, but then North Village got that late winner to change things a little bit. It still didn't help them progress through, but a big for North Village would be a confidence booster. You think?
I would say no, but the goal that came at the end, as I said, it was against the run and play, and it seems like until Village has players back, which they say they won't happen until December, Village will struggle to score goals. I think did the first goal go down as an own goal? Own goal, yeah. So it was a ball knocked into the boxes, and it was the defender was just trying to get out of the way, and it was like a bullet that ended up in his net. But if it didn't drop to maybe Village would have got the shot. But it was so Village is not really scoring goals, and if that happens, Village will struggle to be like in the top 6, in the top 7. So as we're talking about last week, the teams that we fight for relegation, I like looking at what I see, like Village will be down there, and like Paget, like I think that they're on the same level as they were last year, so they'll be fight. It'll be hard to get points over them as well.
Okay, all All right. And as I did say, I see Punchy Dill's trying to get himself into Hickory 7, looking like he's having a little technical difficulties. As the semifinal, as we said, the semifinal draw will take place tomorrow. As we see, it's Dendytown Hornets Group A winners, Devonshire Cougars Group B winners, St. George's Colts Group C winners, and the PHC Zebras best second place team.
So looking at that before the draw happens, who would you say the favorite is?
Right now, I would say Dendytown, only because they played more games, and they'll be settled a little more than anybody else.
I would agree with that.
Yeah,
They seem to be the favorites, and I guess it's no easy semifinal, but you would expect them to advance to the final and go from there.
Right. Saying that, who would you want to see the matchup in the semifinals? What would you like to see?
That's a tough one. I think whatever comes out, there'll be good games.
Yes,
yes. If like somebody, one of the three is gonna get taken out, out of Dandytown, Cougars, and Zebras, one of those teams will be going. So whoever else is in the finals, they're gonna be. I think they will be grateful for that they don't have to beat two of the big teams. And then, as you said, 2 seasons ago, St. George's Colts won the FA Cup, so they have some history in tournaments. So I guess they'll be hoping everybody overlooks them.
Yeah. To be honest, I would love to see a Tom PAC Cougars St. George's matchup. I think those two teams match up against each other quite, for a semifinal. I think that will be something that I think a lot of people will be very interested in. And the funny part would be, just Cougars has a history of beating St. George's, and I'm pretty sure that Dendytown, where Sequoia just left, 2 seasons ago as a player, now coaching PAC, will be up against, team. Yeah.
A lot of drama. And of course, you see, Rwanda
with his Devonshire,
he plays this cricket out Devonshire Rack.
Devonshire Rack, yeah.
You'll have a lot of people out there giving him a happy welcome back to Devonshire Rack.
I mean, it's just so many different scenarios of what could possibly be, in different matchups and in different. It just makes the storyline would be very interesting at times if that was to come out that way. Dendytown versus PAC, St. George's versus Devonshire Cougars.
Have the venues for these semifinals been decided?
I don't think so.
Okay. Are they going to be on the same day or different days?
I would have to wait until the draws is taken. Maybe I can find out during this next during our next commercial break. We can find out, but we'll see. I'm pretty sure somebody should be typing me right now to give me a heads up. I'm hoping.
And of course, the final is always on the holiday, November the 11th.
Yes. And that venue has not been named as of yet. I remember a few years ago they named all the venues before the season started, and Devonshire Cougars made the final. And the final was at Devonshire Rack, and everybody but Devonshire Cougars was like, "Why is the final? It's a home field advantage and all that type of nonsense." So, like in Bermuda, there's no such thing as home field advantage. Trust me. If you play anywhere, it's yeah. Nobody's got a foot.
Yeah.
Definitely.
You don't have 3,000 fans cheering against you.
No. And you gotta, when you get off your team bus, you gotta walk through a hostile crowd. Everybody knows everybody's related, and everybody goes out and has a good time. So yeah, that's what football's about. As we said, we're waiting on. Punchy is trying to get in, and we'll be joined by Sequoia Robinson at the bottom of the hour. Looking at it, I mean, okay, Griff, let's talk a little bit about PHC before he comes on, because they have gone through this transition, obviously with the loss of Marco Warren, who was the leader last year, and just how they've managed. They finished third last year, fourth.
Yeah.
Or second. Yeah. North Philly, Denton, Stewart, PhD. Yeah, fourth last year. But they're always in the conversation. Give us your assessment of PHC.
So, like, at the risk of picking at the scab or the band-aid or PHC, there was the uneasiness, oddity of how the transfer in coaching went in the off season.
Yes.
And as I went to some of the games at the end of the season, there were a lot of PHC stalwarts fans that were complaining, saying, "Oh, we need a change," but people always complain when things are going bad. So you take everything with a grain of salt. But there was talk of a lot of players leaving and just general unrest, and players weren't listening or things weren't being communicated right. So I would assume that the PHC hierarchy made this move to try to galvanize everything, and so far it seems okay, but it's early days. Everything should be peachy in September and October. So if you run into problems in September, and like your season's gonna be
yeah. Well, we do have Sequoia lined up. So what we're going to do, we're going to take our second commercial break, and when we come back, we'll be joined by Sequoia Robinson, the PHC head coach, and we have an update on the semifinals of the Eve as well. But we'll be back after this message.
Beneath the clear blue sky, where the ocean meets the land, and the long tails fly in Bermuda. Our hearts belong to this beautiful island. As an island, we are strong, proudly Bermudian. In every single way, from the sunrise to the sunset, and every single day for over 135 years. It's been clear, Major Silence, proudly Bermudian, bringing us near. Cause we are proudly Bermudian. Major Silence, proudly Bermudian. Major Silence, proudly Bermudian.
You ever crack open a Coke and just... perfect.
It's that cold, classic hit that never lets you down.
Whether you're chilling with friends or just need a break, you can't go wrong with Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola.
Nothing else compares.
Proudly distributed by Butterfield and Vallis.
Wondering what life could be like with Drop It? Imagine more time to relax, recharge, and enjoy the little things, like floating stress-free while your groceries come to you. Don't let errands eat up your day. Drop It brings Lindo's groceries right to your doorstep while you do, well, whatever you want to do. Lindo's. Why go anyplace else?
And welcome back. Well, we want to welcome in Sequoia Robinson. Good evening, sir. How are you?
Good evening. How you guys doing?
all good.
Oh, yeah, all is well. All is well. So, obviously, it's funny how you've worked your way to be the head coach of PHC, because you were doing the National Academy setup. You were still playing. You were still playing and coaching at Robin Hood. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. After you stopped playing for Dendyton, it's just talk us through that whole system of the National Academy setup while you're still kind of growing and staging and coaching.
I guess the National Academy setup is it's helping me for me to be able to coach locally. So if you can coach at a standard, or you can try to at least set the standard at international level, then we should be trying to raise the standard for players locally, while we have them, or while we can coach locally as well. So for me, I guess that's just part of the process, or part of, I guess, part of my mission to help so that we can get more players actually being at national academy or national team level standard.
Did you find it difficult trying to balance while you were still playing and coach?
Yes, it was definitely difficult, but you can see the game from a different perspective. So being a coach, you see different things, and then obviously being a player, there's always what you see going when you cross the white lines, but technically as a coach, you want to be able to see the full picture. It's not just about me trying to score goals or set up goals. It's the whole picture of who's doing what job, and in what moments, and what decisions we're making in those moments that's going to make us better as a team, as a collective. So trying to balance the two, and also learning at the same time, while I'm playing. So my game kind of changes because the information that I'm given becomes a little bit different, because I can see both ways.
Yeah. Before I let Griff in, I'm gonna ask you another question about what were some of the things you took from the academy program to Robin Hood that you had to then figure out, because now you're doing, you know what I mean, domestic, as you've already indicated, international, domestic. You had to try and figure out at that level.
So the good part about transitioning and leaving Dennytown and going to Robin Hood was a lot of it was a young team at Robin Hood.
Yes.
A lot of the young players that was at Robin Hood are in the National Academy setup. So based on the demands that I'm putting on them, they already know what's required in certain aspects. And then we also had a mix of some older guys that on the way out, and trying to mix the blend. But for me, the standard was always set for them, and the older guys was more or less used for experience to help us in moments that they're not used to.
Sure. Griff, you want to jump in?
Yeah. So I'm gonna go a little deep on you now. So I'm going back to 2007 when we went to Island Games, when you were a young buck minus all that gray, your beard, breaking in. And now as we see all of those players from most of their teammates from that time in 2007, most of them are now retiring from Premier Football, moving on to other stuff. So what's it like for you when you stop playing and move away from the game? Well, you haven't fully moved away, but what's it like letting go being a player?
You see certain things in the game today where you feel like if you was playing, you can help, or you could make a difference. The difference now is, can you last that long? Can you fitness levels? You play. I played a couple 90 minutes for Robin Hood, but I'm like, I'll start and then I'll come off, and then I don't come off. So then tomorrow, the next day, the recovery
it's a long week.
Different. It becomes a long week, and then you got 2 games, and then saying, hey, I don't know if I could keep doing this, but
So you're saying you can't handle ice baths anymore?
No, I can still do that. Yeah, you still think that you can influence the game.
Right.
I don't think the standard of Bermuda football is where everybody wants it to be. So I think at times you look at certain situations, scenarios in the game, and you're like, why did they do that? Or you feel like you can influence it or make a difference, but your body tells you otherwise.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Well, I guess good.
So we were talking about the game last night before you came on, and I felt that Dandytown it seemed like they weren't as respectful of what they should be. You had periods of long possession, and sometimes in the last third they were a bit wasteful. Whereas some things I felt like a player would get through and would have a defender on him and take a shot where they could have laid it off, and that player would have had a better shot. But that type of wastefulness, even when Boulevard went on, if you even got the penalty, it was from a situation like that. So, what were your thoughts?
I just think that we used to share, and we grew up in a different era where yeah, I'll give you 2 goals, just make sure you give them back.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
So but now we're at a space where I just want to score, and then if you don't score, then it is detrimental for the team and for the collective, and that's the conversation that we're having now, is because it can't just be about me. There's going to be moments when it is about you, but when that moment comes, you have to be able to take it. But when that moment's there for you to just make sure that we win and solidify the game and blow the other team out of the water, then we have to make sure that we're making the right decisions in the right moments. And I think in Bermuda, a lot of teams were not making the right decisions, and we're not choosing the right moments to think team versus I.
But so, would you looking at PHC from the outside? It seems a lot of those players have grown up together, so the closeness seems to be there, and I think the we seems to be there instead of the I.
Yeah, so it's slightly different at PAT versus being at Dennytown. You know, at PAT, a lot of like you said, a lot of those guys grew up coming like pretty much straight through the ranks, right? And that team specifically has been together for a long time. So, you know, a lot of those players that are in the team that are starting, like I watched them sit on the bench, you know, when I was playing. So, you know, the put the due diligence in, the put the time in, and now is their time. But I think they took a lot of what we did as a collective to be able to win trophies with me, Trey, Marco, and even going further back with a lot of the older guys that they watched coming up. I think that's helped to mold that we sort of situation, that we structure.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that, because you have so many players that would have been in the team or just knocking on the door when you was at PHC. Now that you would have trained with and played with at times, and now you're coaching them. A different mindset, a different voice, a different way of doing things. How have you adjusted to that?
So it's a respect thing, right? And you know, I respect all the players. You know, basically it's about telling them like, look, I'm gonna respect you, but in the same breath, when it's time to do something, we need to do it. And when it's time that you're not pulling up your socks, then we can put aside that, oh, you're my brethren, and we can deal with the situation, and then we can come back and have a conversation afterwards, and we move on. But you know, it's not about holding grudges. It's not about I'm now the bigger person. No, like we have to all pull our socks up, and we have to all pull in the same direction. And 9 times out of 10, if everybody's pulling in the same direction, you get the results that you're looking for.
Sure. What is it like working with Kyle?
So it's good. You know, I played underneath Kyle at PHC in the national program. You know, so a lot of his thinking has helped to groom me to be the coach that I am. You know, between him and you know, being underneath Morty as well, this guy has really helped me as far as, you know, being the coach that I am today. So it's good working with him, because his mind just goes, is always going about football, is always thinking about something. So you know, when we bounce ideas back and forward, and it's a good dialogue, and we've been able to work well together so far.
Sure. What will be a successful season for PHC?
PHC need trophies.
Is it triple run?
We can't hide. We can't run from it. It's, you know, we can't say that it's my first season. To be honest, that's not good enough, right? So
let me just say, the team that won the first trophy, other than the Charity Cup last year, got relegated. And the team that won the second trophy didn't win a game for the second half of the season.
They're all about breaking trends, right?
Yeah.
Breaking trends.
We can't worry about stats because.
Well, you made your first semifinal. It's the start of where you can try to pick up some trophies, but the mind, and you already alluded to it, the mindset of the players nowadays. It is almost like once they win something, it's almost like they turn off.
They turn off. Yeah. They think that they've done everything, but they haven't done nothing.
Yeah, because they're celebrating with a trophy, and I won our trophy. That would be the word. We won our trophy. So don't matter whatever else happens the rest of the season. But I'm like, okay, so as a coach, then you have to kind of make sure that switch stays on. And I think you haven't been in the position, but you've seen others that have been in the position, and it hasn't worked. So what would be one of the first things you would do to kind of keep guys focused and motivated to now win another trophy?
So it becomes almost like I guess a cliche thing, right? When you're playing in a match and it's 2-0, what we say, it's still nothing.
That's right.
Yeah. And we have to take that. We have to take that same mindset and put it towards the season, because it's a long season. You're gonna have your ups, you're gonna have your downs. It's not about how you go down, it's how you get back up, right? So it's not gonna be perfect, but we have to be able to stick together and fight together as a team. We have to fight as a unit, regardless. When we're up 1-0, we have to fight the same way if we're down 1-0. And I think we're starting to slowly get that from the point of view, because we're trying to change some of the culture or some of the things that PHC used to do. So I'm trying to implement new and different things. So far they're taking it on, but we're gonna have our moments, and in those moments we have to stay like it's nothing. Whatever trophy we win is nothing.
So saying that, do you have any preference as to who you would get in the draw tomorrow?
No preference.
Take whatever you get.
Yeah, we take whatever we get. The teams that are in the semifinals are there for a reason, right? So respect to everybody. It's no one that we prefer. At the end of the day, in order to be the best, you got to beat the best. So I need to just be staying in this conversation, and we'll take it game by game.
So you didn't have any travel plans for the November 11th holiday, right?
No, I got
the game against
it's almost like a player now. You can't travel during the season. I can't go nowhere. I can't take a Christmas trip and all that. It's over.
Yes, summer traveler now.
Yeah, summer travel. I'm a school teacher now.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about Tuesday night, because obviously you're playing a team that is struggling in Social Club. You guys look comfortable, but then it looked as if you took your foot off the gas. Is that a way of looking at it, or you were just trying different things? What give us a sense of?
No, I would say we took our foot off the gas. The game, if with all due respect, I think the game could have easily been 6-7. But we're getting in positions to score one-on-one with the keeper, and we're just not doing better. Our tempo dropped after we got our first and second goal, and that's the conversations that we're having. Is sometimes it comes down to the end of the season where you need goal difference. And in these games, even though it's not a league game, we have to start now. Where in these games we have to put teams away, and we have to do better in being able to stay locked in and stay energized and stay enthused. Just because it's 2-0, just because we think that the team is lesser than us, one goal it gives them another energy and another gear, and we start panicking and different things start settling in. So we have to make sure that we kill games off early.
So I don't know if you follow the show, but every week we'll pick the games in the Premier, and I think I won last year, and I think Earl will bring up the rear. So we're just gonna ask you for a little help, not for me, but for Earl. So we were discussing earlier in the show, who do we think will struggle this season? And Social Club is one of the teams that we picked early for relegation. So having played them and seen them a bit, what's your thoughts? Just to help Earl, not me.
I think they always come across as a team that's going to struggle, but every year they beat the drop.
Yes.
Every year, second half of the season, they go and beat Dennytown at home. They go and get points up at Police Field. So they're always going to be able to fight and stick around. You know, they have Clay and Zico now. And I guess once they get in some sort of shape, they may be. We can always say yes, they look like the team that's going to take the drop, but you know, it's football is always played on the field. It's a tricky game.
Yes.
Yeah, I tried to get you some help, Earl. I don't think that was any help. So you probably lose again this year.
Well, you know what it is. I feel sorry for you because you're wearing your Manchester United stuff. So you know you got to win something.
Hey, we're not picking English Premier League games, and I'll wear it every week when they win.
United got 3 points though. I don't know.
Yeah.
I might only be able to wear it on the show maybe 3 or 4 more times this season. I'm not ring it out.
But Sequoia, we want to wish you all the best for the upcoming season. You start off at home against St. George's. Obviously, no team, as you've already indicated, no team in the Premier League is going to be a pushover. So it's 90 minutes battle week in and week out when it comes to the league, and it's all about who is at the top at the end of the season. And you know, I see you have what's his name? The central defender. Griffith, you have him back.
Yeah, I got Naeem and I got Jalen back.
Yeah. So that actually, I mean, although they're a little older, but they understand how to play with each other and understand, and they're both a threat when it comes to defending and attacking. So I think, you know, your mind could be at ease with your defense. You just need to, like you say, make sure those guys shoot the ball up top and put the ball away. So we want to wish you all the best this upcoming season, and we'll call upon you again at some point in time. Good luck in the draw tomorrow and in the Dudley semifinals. And like you said, may the best team in that.
So, yeah, hope to see you on the field and not beside us on November the 11th.
I'm hoping to be on the field too. Don't worry.
No, only outside of the lines. Not
outside the line.
He knows what we meant.
I might play some little Corona this year.
Keep your legs good.
I keep your legs good. I'm playing a little Corona this year.
Okay,
that's about it.
All right. Well, thanks a lot, and we'll be back after this commercial break to wrap up this edition. We've got to do our picks, Griff. We've got to do our picks. Cool. Hey, Sequoia, I tell you what, Sequoia, hang around. All right. We'll see how you make out. We'll be right back.
No worries.
You ever crack open a Coke and just perfect?
It's that cold, classic hit that never lets you down.
Whether you're chilling with friends or just need a break, you can't go wrong with Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola.
Nothing else compares.
Proudly distributed by Butterfield and Vallis.
When it comes to tuna, why not choose Bermuda's Best? Bermuda's Best tuna delivers that classic ocean fresh taste, perfect for sandwiches, salads, and all your go-to favorites. High in protein, low in fuss, it's a pantry essential that's proudly Bermudian. Grab a can or a few next time you're at Lindo's. Bermuda's Best tuna, local, reliable, and delicious. Lindo's, why go anyplace else?
Beneath the cloud blue sky, where the ocean meets the land, and the long-tails fly in Bermuda. Our hearts belong to this beautiful island. As an island, we are strong, proudly Bermudian. In every single way, from the sunrise to the sunset, and every single day, for over 135 years.
Welcome back. Well, it is time for our picks. Sequoia, I'm going to let you pick all the. Well, we'll get you to pick all but your game, and see how you make out as far as, and then you can let people know how easy it is or how difficult it is when it comes to these picks. Because let me just remind Griff, although he won, he's the only person to, for 1 week, get every single score wrong.
Hey,
Okay.
sometimes you try to give people a chance, give them any game. It's like when you're playing football with your son.
Right,
give them a little chance.
Yeah, boy, you can come up with some excuses. But anyway. Okay, so Friday night, it is the opening game of the league season at Bernard Park, where the North Village Rams host Devonshire Colts. Give us your pick, Sequoia.
I'm gonna take Village.
Okay. And I am going to take Village as well. Griff?
Sequoia, you're new, so you don't know any better. You gotta be risky sometimes based on what's happening. I'm calling a draw. You gotta be able to pick draws. That's what separates the winners from the Earls.
Saturday night out at BAA. Griff, you could go first. Boulevard Blazers host Devonshire Cougars.
Cougars.
Okay. Sequoia, who are you taking?
I'm taking Blazers.
Woo!
Oh boy.
Upset early.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Sequoia's playing with house money, just throwing it all over the place.
I'm gonna take Cougars. They seem to be a little more settled. And then the next game, or the next 3 games, are on Sunday, and it's Social Club at Police Field against the Dandytown Hornets, and I'll take Dandytown. Griff?
Dandytown.
Sequoia?
The game's up at Police Field.
Yeah.
Police Field.
Man, I'm gonna take Dandytown. They look like the oiled up already.
All right, so Sequoia, you're up for this game here. This is going to be a tricky one. Southampton Oval. Paget Lions host Crossroads.
Woo!
That's a tight one. I'm gonna take Paget.
Okay. Griff?
You guys are sore. I'm going for the draw.
I am going to say Paget as well. That is going to be tough to beat than they were last season at Southampton Oval. Last one. Sequoia out, but Griff, PHC hosting George's Colts.
Where's that game?
PHC Stadium.
PHC.
Okay.
I'm just picking because I'm on screen, you know.
I just picked against Village. I'm good. I'm trying to win again this year.
I'm going to take PHC for the odd girl to beat St. George's.
For the odd girl. All right.
Yeah. 2-1. So
let me just let you know right now. If I don't get this one right, I'm blaming the flicking coach. Sack him.
There you have it. We'll get Puncher's picks, and next week we'll reveal the winners, and then on to the following week. Well, first division kicks off next week, the following week as well. So it's just premiere this week, and then the first division join up. So Sequoia, I want to thank you very much for joining. Thanks for playing.
No problem.
We'll see how lucky you are. I know you'll be looking next week.
I'm going to be watching next week.
See how it goes on Friday night first, and then Saturday night.
Yeah. All right. We'll be in good standing.
Okay, then. All right. Well, good luck next week in your opening game of the season. Griff will be back with another edition of the Island Stats Football Show next week, Sunday, right here, beginning at 6 p.m. All right?
Take care, everybody.
All right. Thanks a lot.